Listen, it's 2025. There are some things as a society that we need to leave in 2024, and this is the year we need to remember to start living. Okay, this is the year we start embracing the little things in life that bring us joy. And what is the one trend that's encouraging this? The ins and outs list for the new year, okay? I know we're about a week into the new year. Listen, it's been a rough few days. So I'm starting my new year now, okay? But I did make a list and we're gonna go through this, and what I want you to do is leave your suggestions, or leave your ins and outs list in the comments if you agree with what I'm gonna say, if you think, yes girl, that's on my list as well, or if we get into my outs list and you go, whoa, that's a really controversial one, I don't agree with that. I want to hear from you. I want to know, okay? Leave it in the comments. Okay, so we're going to start with my ins, and then we're going to do a little bit of a rant, okay? Because I do love me a rant. This is a very random video. I'm trying to frame this as like a self-development type thing, but in a way I feel like the glow up culture and this whole kind of section of YouTube can sometimes be like really structured and really serious, and it just doesn't have to be. Okay, this is why I love this trend so much. So without any further ado, as I say, leave your suggestions, leave your list in the comments, and let us get into my ins and outs for 2025, because I feel very passionately about some of these points and I'm so excited to get into this. So I have them on my notes app on my phone here, and let's start with the ins. In number one, even though I'm not really going to number these, I'm just going to go through them. But my first on my ins list is being overdressed. Can we normalise that, please? I mean, it speaks for itself. I feel like if you're on the fashion side of the internet, if you kind of relate to the way I've styled myself today when I say fashion side of the internet, you know what I mean when I say let's normalise being overdressed, okay? Because we are living in a world of beige, and we're gonna get into this. We really need to break that curse. Break that cycle, break that curse, introduce some colour back into our lives, into fashion, into our personal style, and just embrace individuality in the way we dress, okay? So being overdressed is my first one. The second one on this list, it kind of links in Chapel Roan drag. Now listen, I am as straight as a plank of wood, okay? There is nothing gay about me. In a way, I wish there was, because it's such a fabulous community of creative people. But Chapel Roan, ooh. I understand the hype. I understand the hype so fully. I was a little bit late to the hype. I was a little bit late to the train. Kind of really got into it kind of mid to late summer, but when I discovered, when I listened to Phenomenon, when I listened to that album, I was fully converted. Then I started seeing pictures of her outfits and her makeup and learning that basically Chapel Roan is like her drag persona. I was so here for it. And the way she does her makeup, and the makeups that, I mean, I tried to recreate one of her looks today, which I did like a little reel over on my Instagram for. We should normalise Chapel Roan drag, especially with makeup. And this goes back to my previous point about like being more playful with colour and not being scared of colour. Chapel Roan drag. Let's all aspire to the level of creativity and diva expression that she has in her image, right? Let's all aspire to that, please and thank you. Number three, cleavage. Now girls, some of us struggle a little bit in the cleavage department just because of maybe the shape of our boobs or size of them, whatever. However, I do think if you've got it, flaunt that. Be confident in your body. I want to see more women being brave enough to wear the low-cut tops and low-cut dresses, okay? Just embrace and love how God made you. Point blank period. My next point is men's cologne. Now listen, if you are, and there's a couple of these that relate to my male attracted audience out there, okay? And this is the first one. Now listen, I've always had this weakness, but finding like good men's cologne nowadays, I feel like is also a bit of a challenge. Like, not everybody has it down, but when you smell a man who's got a good cologne on, it's an absolute game changer. Like, no matter what the guy can be like, you can always say, yeah, but he smelled good though. Like, I'm just saying. Anyone else out there, I'm sure that other people can relate to that one. The next one on my list, Sharpay Evans energy. Now listen, this is a very, very important one. And the girlies who get it, okay? The girlies who already get it, they already get it. But my main point with this is, okay, she is a bitch with boundaries. She is a bitch with high standards. She is a diva who does not tolerate tolerate anything from anybody that does not match those standards or tries to cross those boundaries. She knows what she wants. She is ambitious. She is driven. Her dress sense is impeccable. Peak early 2000s. Maybe not what Aristotista wore on like the red carpet. We all know. But like, when it comes to Sharpay Evans, oof, we all need to aspire to that level of I don't give a fuck, I'm just gonna go after what I want and I ain't gonna get attached. Well, she was kind of attached to Troy, but she's not gonna let anything get in her way. She knows what she wants. She gives herself permission to dream big, and that's what we all need to do. Be more like Sharpay in a world full of Gabriellas. It's hard out here, okay? It's hard out here. This next one kind of relates to my Instagram content. If you don't already know, I do a lot of like female empowerment and Summers consultant content over there. And I will say the best photo shoot that I did last year was in the Midland Hotel in Manchester. I will insert a couple of pictures on the screen. More photo shoots in hotel rooms, because I've been pinning an awful lot of stuff on my Pinterest board that is around like photo shoots in hotel rooms and these women just looking like divine feminine divas, and I want to do more of that. I've really aspired to do more of that this year, and I feel like we all need to do that, because I mean I made the video when I went to the Midland that was like a solo day to Manchester vlog, which was so much fun to do, and the pictures came out so good. I didn't even have to do like that much editing with them because the hotel room lighting was just so perfect. But let's all normalize doing that. Let's normalize solo dates to hotels just so we can get some bomb ass Instagram pictures. Like, I feel like we need to do more of that. This next one relates a little bit to what to my podcast, which if you guys didn't know, I do have a podcast channel called Playing in Politics where I talk about politics and do my makeup. I do like to say it's like Bailey Sarian but without the murder, although I haven't been able to say that with the past couple of episodes with everything going on in politics at the moment, but it's a fun little slogan because I did steal the concept off her. But this next one relates to politics, and I said supporting politicians who care deeply about national security over virtue signalling and gender identity politics, okay? We need to be supporting people who actually care about the real issues in this country and not trying to silence trans people. Like, can I get an amen in the chat? Okay, moving on. This next one's a little bit geeky, but can we bring back the vibes of 2005 to 2014 Doctor Who? Can we please? Like, that was peak reboot era, okay? For Jodie Whittaker, even though Stephen Moffat had his moments of not being the best, you know, can we, like, pre-Chibnall, pre-all the nonsense, pre-selling out to Disney, because as we know, the last couple of seasons have not been good, especially this new one. I do love the new Doctor, by the way, but it's the writing. Even though we thought that Rusty Davis was going to bring it back, he didn't. He really didn't. He's been selling out to Disney. It's just been a mess. I don't like it. But also to any like the Doctor Who fans out there, please like make it a thing to rewatch those series, like rewatch those episodes, like feel that nostalgia, feel that joy that comes with nostalgia of being a kid on a Saturday night glued to BBC One. Like, let's bring that back. Like, I've been rewatching the Harry Potters recently, like over Christmas, and that has just been so healing to my soul. Even though I don't support J.K. Rowling, that's kind of why I stopped watching them for a few years, but I've been rewatching them, as I say, and it's been so healing and such a comfort. I do love the world that she created, not necessarily her views, but the world she created in those films are just unmatched. Even though HBO were gonna try and redo them, I just, no, absolutely not. But as I say, that era of Doctor Who is the same level of comfort, and I just feel like we need to bring it back. Or at least bring back rewatching them, you know? Again, nostalgia, comfort, joy. Speaking of nostalgia, and this is going to be a more kind of broad point, but I specifically wrote Shane Dawson's old food videos, which is something else I've been watching. Obviously, Shane Dawson is a very controversial character, and he's done some things. This down jumper. Anyway, very controversial character. I still have the conspiracy palette that him and Jeffree Star did, even though it's like 5 years old now, and I still use it on a fairly regular basis. Don't at me, okay? As much as, yes, they've done some very dodgy things in the past, very disgusting things at some point, I do find his old food videos really funny. Like, it's kind of how I discovered Shane Dawson, was kind of through those videos. It's like kind of the first kind of series of videos that I watched on his channel, and I've been rewatching them and they still hit. It's like 2016 comfort YouTube nostalgia. It's a nostalgia trip, okay? But 2016 comfort YouTube, like pre-TikTok, pre-reels on Instagram, pre this like constant stimulation that we get from social media now. Like, it was much more relaxed, much more based on longer form content, and it was just based on comfort and relatability, and I feel like we need to bring that back just to social media as a whole, really. But Shane Dawson's All Food videos, for some reason, for me again, just brings that comfort and nostalgia and joy, and just takes me back to a much simpler time, man. So I was talking before about like the photo shoots in hotel rooms, but normalizing posting lingerie pics, girlies. If you want more on this, by the way, my Instagram is the best place to go for this, because I don't necessarily talk about it too much on detail on here. Over there I do though, just because it's a different kind of platform. I feel more comfortable over there, whereas on here I could risk getting demonetized. Normalizing posting lingerie pics is really about normalizing being confident in your body, normalizing getting to that level of feminine energy where you just feel so beautiful in yourself, and that you realize that when you find a lingerie company, I'm an Ansell's consultant here in the UK, by the way. I think I have my webshop link in the description if you want to support me, but anyway, it's not why we're here. But as someone who has struggled a lot with self-confidence and self-esteem, and it took me so many years to finally be able to look in the mirror and see beauty, the one thing that really helped me with that is lingerie. Now listen, I've always been somebody who was very curious about sex, curious about that kind of side of humanity, so it wasn't necessarily a surprise that I found a lot of confidence in lingerie, and like that was what made me see myself as a woman and really see myself as a real person. Which sounds very weird, but trust me, if you know, you know. And then especially when I started doing my photography work over my Instagram, which is very much like a avenue of creativity for me, and it's so powerful, and I just feel like not enough women are acknowledging that like you can get to that level of power without having an OnlyFans. Like, it's a completely separate thing. Some people aren't gonna get it, some people are gonna get it, but I feel like in 2025 more people need to get it, or more people need to learn how to get it, because I feel like if we get to that level as women, we're gonna become absolutely unstoppable. So yeah, normalizing, learning to love your femininity, learning to love your feminine body, and learning to love lingerie, because for me especially, and I know for a lot of us, that's what's really going to help us on that journey. So as I say, if you want more detailed kind of inspiration and content on that, my Instagram is where to go. But yeah, posting lingerie pics and being confident in yourself as a woman is what we need to normalize in 2025. Moving on. So my next one is posting singing videos. Now again, my Instagram, I had a video go viral, like my first ever viral video on Instagram, which is bonkers because it wasn't really meant to be that. It was just kind of meant to be like a funny video, kind of, but like I posted a video of me singing the kind of bridge in The Wizard and I from Wicked after I saw the Wicked movie. Those who are theatre kids out there, if you know, you know, but Cynthia Erivo, you're not supposed to breathe in the "and I'll stand there with the wizard." Yeah, I mean, you're not meant to breathe there. Be breathed. It's a very important part of the song where you're specifically not meant to breathe for like the emotional impact of that part of the song, and she breathed. And I've had a lot of people in the comments being like, first of all, you're doing it like head heavy, which, okay, fair enough, that's a valid criticism. If I was doing it that way, then fair enough, I know I need to work on my chest voice belt. But at the same time, they were completely missing the point. But that did inspire me to do more singing videos over there, and I feel like if you are a singer, if you are a theatre kid, if you've maybe been out of it for a few years like me because you just haven't had the opportunity but you've still been practicing your singing, post it online, post that video, be brave, okay? Be brave with social media. I feel like that's something we really need to do. So that is my next point with that little story from my Instagram. But again, Instagram is the best place to go for fun little content like that, okay? Not yet though, stay here first. My next one is because for a lot of years now I've needed to redecorate this room. Like the background of these videos has been looking very plain for quite a few years now. In this video you've got a few new things going on. That's a big picture of Billie Eilish. I've got one, the Freddie Mercury one over by my door. That's what used to be on that wall, my kind of hand-drawn show logos on a big board. I've got my vision board there with a couple of mini ones around it. I've kind of placed a couple of my Doctor Who artworks that I did when I was like 15 over there. You know, I'm in the process of making the background look a little bit more exciting and just my room feel a little bit more like myself again, because my next point is bedroom walls being covered in posters and artwork. When I was like 12, when I first started doing YouTube, my walls were completely covered in like, it was either Bratz doll posters because I was a big Bratz girly back in the day. Lord knows I was bullied for it back in the day. It was either that or kind of celebrities from kind of teen magazines I used to get back in the day, but my walls were completely covered. There was no gap at all, hardly. And you know what? I loved my room like that. I felt so much joy with my room like that, because otherwise my walls are very plain, very boring, very pale, which is just not me, to my soul, to my core, okay? And as much as that has left quite a lot of like blue tack marks like stuck to the textured wallpaper, it's something I really just want to do. do, again, is where I just want to fill my walls with stuff that is me. I've got like a Pinterest board going on at the moment where I found kind of old pictures of Bratz posters, and then I've got like the music artists that I really like, and I'm basically just gonna recover my walls and stuff, which is just gonna make this room feel a lot more homely and a lot more like me, and a lot more like I can relax here, and it's definitely gonna like calm my nervous system down a lot and make me more productive and motivated. So I'm very, very excited for that. Stay tuned for that to see how the progress goes. I don't know if I'm gonna like vlog it on my Instagram or something, but that is the plan. But if you're feeling the same, if you were bullied out of taking all of your childhood posters down, like in high school or something, even if it brought you joy, or if you've been thinking about trying to redecorate your room in a way, or like you want to like change the walls up, that is the one thing to do. Go on like free prints, get some command strips going, or do like artwork like this. Like I've got some paintings on over there, I've got another one up there that used to be there, you know. If you're an artist, like do whatever you want, but just make your room your room. Make your room a space where you can be creative, where you can be yourself, where you can be confident, and let's normalize that, okay? Moving on. Okay, you know when I said that a couple of these are gonna be towards my male attracted audience, this next one is quite specific. Now, I want you guys to let me know if you have the same thing, like if you find the same thing attractive, because I really, really want to know. But beautiful men with nice hands. Is it just me? Am I really attracted? Am I the only one really, really attracted to like nice hands on a man? Like, is it just me? I don't know. And, and I feel like this is also really like individual as well. Like a lot of people maybe talk about the size of a guy's hands. I don't. I mean, yes, to a certain extent, but it's more about like a bit of a vein, but not too much. Or like if a guy's wearing like a ring or two, I'm that's it, I'm done, you know? And nice nails as well. I mean, I feel like that's just like a universal thing. If you know, you know. But yeah, I don't know, it's maybe just like, I don't know, it's really difficult to explain, but like when a man is beautiful in the face and he's got nice hands to go with it, like I am. That is what I'm talking about. So and paired with the cologne from earlier, it's over. I'm done. I'm folded, you know? I am a puddle on the floor. Anyway, to move on, but yeah, just let me know if that's just me or if you have the same thing. I really, really want to know. Now, if you don't know, I am a girlie who doesn't drink, okay? I have never drunk. The only alcohol that's ever passed through my body is like the tiniest sip of communion wine I get on church on a Sunday. That is it. That is it. I have never drunk. Mocktails is something that I have down on my list. Now, I think it was originally mocktails and rooftop bars, because I do love a rooftop bar, I do love a bar, and I do love a mocktail. Like there's a bar in Manchester called the Hinterland, which I really, really want to go to this year because it's just kind of popped up, because it's Wholesome Junkies, which is like a vegan restaurant. I'm also vegan if you guys didn't know, but that has kind of moved locations where it's underneath the Hinterland bar now. So it's, I mean, I think the Hinterland's vegan anyway. It's vegan and non-alcoholic, so it, in a way, it's just like a match made in heaven. But I really, really want to go this year because they look like they have really good mocktails from their Instagram. So that's a goal for the year. But yeah, just mocktails in general. Like, let's normalize not having to drink to have a good time on a night out. I feel like more people are doing this. I don't know. It's just a healthy habit to try, I suppose. And there are some good mocktails out there that I have had that I can't wait to have again. So that is my next one. In like a similar vein, spontaneous nights out. Now, I love a spontaneous night out. There was a night out I went on last year. I think it was like the only like night out like that I went on last year, really, apart from Tory Conference in Birmingham. But yeah, there was this one night out I went on in Manchester that was just, it was really cool because it was really spontaneous. It was like, I don't know, that just the energy was really good, and I feel like you know, let's normalize just making spontaneous plans with the people that you love, you know? Let's just make spontaneous plans with the people you have fun with. Not everything has to be so structured and planned all the time. Like, spur of the moment, let's go, this is on, do you want to do this, yada yada. Like, literally, it doesn't always have to be super duper planned, and that's just how life should be, really. It's just going with the flow, go with the moment, and I feel like that's the kind of vibe that a spontaneous night out embodies, and I just love that. So I want to do more of that this year, and let me know if you relate to that. Now, as much as you can't really tell for this next point that it's like I can't really relate to this one just yet, but I am a gym girly. I'm in my like 3rd year of weight training now. Would never go back to anything else, and we're gonna get into that in my outs list, trust me. When it comes to the gym and the people that I follow for gym inspiration and kind of to learn how to do certain exercise properly and things like that, muscular arms on women, oh, so good, so powerful, man. I don't know what it is, but it's just, there's so much power in a woman with strong arms. As much as I do love strong glutes as well, trust me, I do I do love a glute work out, but having strong arms is just, it's a whole other level of just like, yes bitch, you get it, you know? Yes diva, you lift those weights, you know? Like that's what it's giving, and I really want to try and improve that this year. I genetically have not been born with very thick arms. I've always had really quite skinny arms, and I've always really struggled to like build muscle in the arm area. My back's really strong, but my arms, they do struggle. However, I have come a bit of a way in the past year, you know. I'm consistently pressing 10 kg dumbbells on my shoulder days, you know, so I am kind of halfway there, but I definitely need to improve, because I want to see some growth. I want to see some thickness come through. Like, let's all pray for my arm muscles in 2025, you know? But yeah, just any girl out there who's a gym girly who has the muscles, like just letting you know, good on you. I love it. Keep doing what you're doing, and I want to be part of that crew, because I just think it looks fantastic. I've put the colour navy as my next one, and in a way I feel like navy needs to become the new neutral. Maybe it needs to, well, I mean, not necessarily that it should become the new black, because I do love a bit of black. I am like a slightly alt leaning girly, but you know, I feel like as just like another neutral kind of colour, we should all be navigating to navy. I do love a navy, I do love a blue, as you see. I mean, none of this is navy, but I if I was to choose, like, black and navy together is also a good combination, so just the colour navy. It's just a beautiful colour, isn't it? Moving on. Commenting on Instagram posts. Now this is an interesting one, because I've been struggling with the getting engagement on my Instagram, and I know that commenting on other people's posts is a good thing to do that, and it also just shows you care. It also just shows you support. Of course, you gotta like the post as well. Make sure you're clicking through people's stories to go to posts to like them. Please don't like people's stories forever, because it doesn't actually help that much with the algorithms and things, just in case you didn't know. We need to be going through, liking people's posts, supporting our friends, and also commenting on their posts as well, because that helps with engagement, it helps with the algorithm, and we need to be doing that in 2025. I don't want to see you slacking, I will know. 90s vintage denim is my next one. Now, I don't know about you, but why is denim so cheap quality nowadays? Why is like the best quality denim stuff from the 90s? Like, I feel like that's peak jean, right? That's like peak jeans. Peak denim was in the 90s, okay? If you need some new jeans, go to your thrift shop, and we need to be bringing it back. Now, as much as kind of the low-rise trend is back, and trust me, I never thought I'd be that girl, but low-rise is the way to go with a girl with long legs and not a lot of torso. It just helps with my proportions, okay? Leave me alone. I used to be a high-waisted girl all the way, but yeah. Anyway. Stuff from the 90s in general as well, not even just denim, like just let's bring back the 90s style, because I feel like it came in around 2017 to 19, and then we've just had like the Y2K revival, which I don't hate. As I say, I am a low-rise girly now, but I feel like we need to bring back a little bit of like a 90s vintage style into the mainstream. Please and thank you. We're on to our final two of my ins now. You'll be glad to know. It's a very long list, but I'm really enjoying this so far. But my next one is supporting creative women. You know what I was saying about making sure you're clicking through people's posts and supporting people on Instagram? Especially do that especially if they're women. If they're female artists, if they're female creatives, you need to be doing that, because it's difficult out here. It's difficult out here for anyone, but especially if they're doing something quite out of their comfort zone, like lingerie content. You know, I was saying, like, if they're starting to post their lingerie content on there, and they're looking fire, and they're improving their self-esteem, and if they're feeling themselves, make sure you support them. Make sure you hype them up. Make sure you go and support them and show that you love them, okay? Because it is scary out there. It's a scary world, and they're gonna come up against a lot. So again, I will know. I will know what you're doing. Please go and support your female friends, especially if they're creatives, okay? And the last one is video games. Now listen, those who say that video games are a red flag in a man, leave. Actually, no. Don't leave, come back, because you'll need therapy, okay? Did you not play video games as a teenager? Did you not? Can you not talk about this? Is that why you get jealous because he has a hobby and you don't? Is that what's going on here? Please. For me personally, I grew up playing games. I probably grew up playing Minecraft. I spent many an after school evening with my guy friends on Feed the Beast bloody mod pack servers, because they were good coders and things. Like, do you all remember those days, like 2014 to like 2016? Like, do you remember this? Do you remember this? If you were a girly who plays games, even if it's like, you know, Nintendo Switch, don't be out here judging people, especially men, for playing video games. It's a hobby. It's a hobby, okay? It is a hobby. And if it's a multiplayer game, ask them how to play it with them, bonding, you know. And playing video games is really, really fun, and it's also really creative. There are very hardworking people behind the games that you play. There are artists, there are coders, there are so many really intelligent people. Play video games, like, please, just video games in general, but especially if you used to be a gamer and you haven't played games in a while, this is another point. Play some video games. I recently got an Xbox in the summer, like a second-hand Xbox, because I used to go around my mate's house and would always be jealous because they had an Xbox and I didn't grow up with consoles. So with my old job that I had, that was one of the first things I got with my first paycheck, was got myself an Xbox, because I was like, I need that nostalgia and I need a hobby. I need something to do that's not just scrolling on Instagram, and it's really, really helped me. It's great because it's like a TV in my room, which I also always wanted. So there's a lot of elements to this, whichever one you relate to, just play some video games. Play some video games and support people who do. That is it for my ins list. Moving on to my outs list. It's time to rant, folks. It's time to rank divas. Let's go. This is gonna be potentially controversial. Get a snack, come on back, like I'm Rich Lux. Just like sitting tight, because this is gonna be a really fun ride, and I am really excited. Okay, let's get into it. My first out on my outs list, clean girl aesthetic. Now listen, we ranted at the beginning of my ins list about bring more colour back to fashion, bring more colour back to makeup with the chaperone drag thing. Clean girl aesthetic needs to die. There are a lot of things, and we're gonna get into this, there are a lot of things that are coming with the clean girl aesthetic as well that kind of pertain to like health and detoxy type stuff that is just not healthy, that we should not be. Like, it's giving the 90s being skinny is everything kind of trend. Like, it is directly contributing to that, and we shouldn't be doing this. And also, like, overdoing it with the skincare. You don't need to do this, hun, unless you've got like actual skin problems. Like, you don't need to be doing this, okay? Listen, clean girl aesthetic needs to leave. It is making you dull. It is making you boring. Play with colour, please, I beg. And we're gonna get more into this. As I say, this I did warn you this was a rant, and feel free to rant with me in the comments. Okay, number 2, TikTok. You know what I was saying before about like comfort social media, like with the Shane Dawson videos and that? TikTok has single-handedly ruined that. If it wasn't for TikTok, we wouldn't have Instagram Reels. If it wasn't for TikTok, we wouldn't have a lot of issues in this country. Now, I have some political reasons why I don't like TikTok, okay? If you want to come for me in the comments, come for me in the comments, okay? But China funds TikTok. Like, TikTok is China, okay? It's contributing to fast fashion, to overconsumption with like TikTok shop and things like that. In the same vein, we have like Shein and now like Temu, which is kind of Wish but kind of rebranded. You know, do you remember Wish from like 2017? God, it's basically the same thing. It's contributing to so many negative things. TikTok is the reason that we're having to like ban social media and phones from people who were like under 16 and that. I'm 24 now. When I was in high school, it was kind of just the up of Instagram. It was when Instagram was kind of first starting to gain a lot of popularity, and even Instagram at the time was very wholesome. It was selfies and like short videos in like the square format. Like, social media was so much more wholesome back in my day, you know, which was only about 10 years ago. But over the last like 10 years, even the last like 8 years maybe that it's been now, because like 2017 was kind of the big turning point for like short form content, wasn't it? We have seen such a downfall in kids' mental health because of things like TikTok and the trends that TikTok have kind of, all the social media platforms have taken from TikTok. I could make a whole video just about why I hate TikTok, but yeah, TikTok needs to leave. Delete your account, go back to comfort content, just please. It will heal your mental health, trust me. The next one on my list is Pilates. Now listen, I started out with Pilates back in 2020 and like 2021. I was a Pilates girly because I wanted to be skinny, okay? I wanted to be skinny. I'd gained a little bit of weight as I'd sort of started to get into my 20s because I wasn't really eating right, and I wasn't really, I'd never really learned to probably take care of myself in terms of like health, because I'd always a hater of PE in school and stuff. I went to Pilates because the Pilates YouTubers were all get abs in a week and, you know, lose fat in 7 days, and like this 30-day challenge is going to give you a six-pack. Like, that unfortunately is still a lot of the messaging that gets put across by the like Pilates princess community, and in a way it goes back to the clean girl aesthetic because it also comes with like the green juices and like your lemon water in the morning and like all this kind of detox stuff, which if you actually look into it is complete and utter bullshit. To the girlies out there who are getting into fitness and like, you know, you want to get stronger and you want to like maintain your mobility and things into older life, which is why we should be exercising really. Be brave and lift some weights. Girlies, please. I'm gonna tell you right now, body weight exercises, things like Pilates, is only gonna get you so far. If you have certain goals with your fitness, Pilates, I'm sorry, is not gonna be the way to do it. Now, certain elements of Pilates you can like integrate into like a healthy fitness lifestyle and schedule and routine, but you have to start weight training. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it as it is. Now, I know that some health conditions out there mean that you can't like lift super heavy weights, which is fine. Whichever weight it is, lift some weights, use some machines, you know, please. It's gonna make you feel so much better, and just getting stronger is gonna give you so much more of a rewarding feeling than just Pilates. I'm sorry. Those like slow controlled movements, it feels good at the time, trust me, but once you hit that plateau and you don't know why you're not improving, lift some weights. That's all I'm gonna say. The next thing on my list is kind of like a 2-point, but it's like, if you're still in situationships and still participating in hookup culture, 2025 is the year you need to stop doing that, okay? Like, please. This is so important, and I've talked about this on my Instagram in a reel that I made a couple of weeks ago. The only way you're gonna level up in dating as a woman is you need to get clear on your standards and your boundaries. Go back to the Sharpay Evans thing, that girl would have done that immediately. You need to adopt that same energy, okay? If we are still getting emotionally attached and crying over a man who's texting us but won't meet up with us, like, it's just like an online persona that you've never met, or if you're not getting treated right, or if, you know, a guy's just using you for sex and you're like, oh, this is fine, you're trying to kid yourself into thinking that it's okay. No. We stop that in 2025, okay? We date intentionally. This does not mean stop having sex with people. Sex is fun. Sex is a biological urge that you should be honouring. It depends what your natural, you know, drive is. Fair enough, you honour that, but we should be dating in a healthy way. We should not be entertaining these toxic men who just want to use us, okay? No emotional maturity is allowed in your circle in 2025, okay? Please. I said what I said. It's 2025. Leave that in like 2021, okay? Just stop it. Just stop, okay? You deserve so much better. Moving on. 2010s fashion trends returning. No. No, I do not want to see this happen, okay? If I start seeing skinny jeans, or if I start seeing chevron, or if I start seeing spiky shoes, sorry Valentino, I know you haven't stopped doing this, but if I start seeing the things like that in the mainstream, no. If I start seeing peplum tops, if I start seeing peplum, which I'm pretty sure I've started seeing again, I'm gonna rage. I'm a protest. I am, okay? I do not want to see this. Stripes, polka dots, peplum, those great big ugly well, to be fair, the statement necklaces are cool sometimes, those can stay. But if you're gonna bring back 2010s, make it more 80s, okay? If you want to go back to that kind of style, buy some 80s vintage. Go 80s, don't go 2010s. The 2010s murdered 80s fashion, okay? Do not, please, I don't want to see this. Please, those who hate it with me, please unite in the comments. We need to rally an army. I do not want to see one piece of chevron anything, ever again. Please, no. My next one is going to be a little bit controversial. In a way, this is more of a personal one. I probably shouldn't be putting this in this list, to be fair. Fearing family's opinions of your life. Now, girl, you are born with your family members, so in a way, you've got to honour that. However, you are still your own person. Do not let them, you know, use you as a puppet. Don't do that. You are still your own person. You have your own freedom of choice. You can do whatever you want with your life, and if they don't want to support you, then that is their problem, okay? That is all I'm going to say on that, because that's going to get really controversial, but if you have any personal things you want to say about that, leave them in the comments. I would love to hear. Next on my outs, you know, I was talking about in my ins about we support politicians who care about the security of this country and not fake issues like trans rights, or like trying to make trans issues political. My next point on my outs is supporting politicians purely because they support TERF ideas. Now listen, I don't want to see this, and we are going to see this, unfortunately. I mean, it's a hopeful out, okay? Well, we are going to see politicians move through the ranks because of these ideas, and it is unfortunate. However, we have much more important issues in this country to be worrying about. The trans person just trying to live their lives, you know, is not a priority. Those trying to use the card to harm people, they are a priority, but not the regular ones, okay? A lot of trans people, they just want to do what they gotta do to live their best life and move on and just be normal people. Like, that's all they want to do, okay? Which is fair enough, let them do that. We have bigger issues that threaten the national security of this country. That's the priority. Support those people, not the turfy ones, abs, please. I don't want to see it anymore. Which in a way lends very well into the next point, because my next point is anyone who voted for Kemi Badenoch as Tory leader because she's a TERF, out. Out you go. Who still believes that she should be leader because she's a TERF, out. Because she said that trans women are men, out. Get out. If you're unwilling to change your mind, because I know that she's not gonna change, out you go. Leave. I don't want to see you. Unless you're willing to have a proper conversation, a proper debate in the comments about this, out you go. Nope. We are here for democracy, we're here for a nice debate, we're not here to shout at each other. Out you go. Overtraining abs is my next point, okay? Now, I used to be a girly in the Pilates days. Ab workouts were my everyday. I did not have a day where I didn't train abs, okay? But the real progress has come once I started deadlifts and things that really engage my core. That's when I actually started to see more definition there. I mean, again, I do train my abs. I've started training my abs a little bit more, but doing that thing where we obsessively train our abs like every single day or like twice a day, no. That is not what we're doing. We're doing the compound movements that train our core anyway, and we're not gonna obsess over whether we have a visible six-pack or not, because it's there anyway. We are not gonna stress over that last little layer of fat if we can, you know, still see the definition. If we're happy with our bodies, which we should not be training our abs forever and ever just to be able to see another line. Like, no. Movie sequels and remakes. This goes without saying because everybody has been saying this. Everyone and their mother has been pointing this out, and rightfully so. Now, I wouldn't mind if we were getting remakes of stuff that were actually good, but I saw the new Lion King film recently, and I have the same comment I made about the 2019 film, and that is, you can't see expression with CGI lions, okay? The original 3 Lion King films are core Disney films of my childhood. They were like the first Disney films that like the original Lion King, pretty sure was the first film by Disney that I ever watched when I was like 3, okay? And I used to watch that so much, I could practically recite the script. And I love the 3rd one and I love the 2nd one, okay? Then you can see emotion. Then you get that sort of emotional attachment that you get from a Disney film. You do not see that with the CGI. Now listen, the plot and the music wasn't actually too bad, but with the CGI now, you get absolutely nothing, okay? And it's the same with pretty much all like the sequels and the prequels and the remakes of the stuff that we're getting. It's just not good. Like the Moana sequel got bad reviews, apparently for good reason. I didn't see it because after I saw like one bad review basically confirming everything I already believed, I was like, I'm not wasting my money. I'm gonna wait till it comes out on Disney Plus, and even then, I don't even know if I'll watch it. So we shall see. And obviously we had the Snow White film coming out this year, and I'm not really very excited for that either. Rachel Zegler, I do love your voice, hun, but you've like the stuff you've been saying over the past couple of years about this film. Just stop, hun. You are stunning and I love you, but no. Stop making sequels. Stop making remakes. Come up with some original ideas, please, I beg. Now I'm gonna combine the next two because they do kind of combine anyway, but can we stop with the tracksuits? Can we stop wearing tracksuits in public? Can we bring back some class, please? Can we bring back some class? Like, I was talking to someone I know and we were both having a bit of a rant about how many couples we see in public. I mean, we live in Blackpool, so they're like near Blackpool, so to be fair, it might just be us. But I know it's like a universal thing that I've seen, but couples in tracksuits. Chav culture being such a widespread thing. Like, I just thought it was for those who peaked in high school, but no, apparently it's just like a thing that's spreading so far wide now across the nation that I just really don't understand. Like, again, can we just bring back some class, dressing up for each other when we go out on dates? Like, can we normalize that? Can we stop wearing the grey and the beige and the white tracksuits? Can we stop it? We are just becoming a herd of tracksuited people, and I just don't like it. Again, I feel like this is like a universal point. Let me know if you agree. On kind of a similar vein, again, going back to like the clean girl aesthetic, the colours beige and brown, especially when it comes to interior design and fashion, especially when it comes to women. Can we stop? Can we not wear beige and brown anymore? You can wear black and white, that's fine, that's classy, that's clean, that's never gonna go out of style. Beige and brown though, anything that's beige, anything that's kind of like a sand colour, or whatever fancy names they want to invent for it, just stop. And again, I've already ranted about kind of all of the negative connotations that could come from that anyway. Just in general, it's just making us slaves of capitalism and consumerism and just making us dull servants of it. The world is draining of its colour and it's such a sad thing to see, and I don't want to see it anymore. So can we stop? Thank you. Again, embrace colour, embrace having fun with self-expression, and none of this neutral stuff. Leave it behind. Wide fit tailored trousers for women? No. No, I mean, maybe this is a personal point because I had a really bad experience with my last boss at my last job. I would wear a lot of this a lot of the time, so maybe it's just like a personal rant point. But like, just in general, again, I feel like it's contributing to a very harmful stereotype and sort of ideal that women are kind of trying to gravitate towards, especially if they're women in business. Like, just because you're a woman in business doesn't mean you have to drown your legs out in these trousers, in like a beige or brown trousers, just to try and make yourself seem powerful and blending in with the men. Do not blend in. Do not blend in. We are meant to stand out. Remember that. Manifestation. Ooh, this is a spicy one. Now this comes from a place of Christianity, and I want everyone in the comments to know if you agree or disagree with me on this one, because I know this is going to be controversial. But can we just agree that the universe is just God? And can we start talking to God? And can we stop with all this manifestation method technique stuff? Can we stop saying that when we start seeing numbers in our lives that it's signs from the universe? And can we just say, oh, it's God? Or like maybe pray and find out who your guardian like saint or angel is. Like, can we start doing that? Can we start normalizing religion? Can we start normalizing Christianity? Can we stop letting all this spirituality rubbish kill off Christianity? Can we stop doing that? Because I genuinely feel like that's single-handedly doing it, and the internet and TikTok is really perpetuating it, and I hate it, and I've started to really pick up on it in the past kind of year or so. It's a bad thing that's happening. Once you wake up to it, you wake up to it. And can we just stop with the manifestation stuff and start praying? Clean eating trends and food shaming. Ooh, this is another spicy one, because can we stop saying that processed food is bad? Can we stop saying, especially those who are trying to criticize people who are vegan, can we stop with that? Can we please stop just commenting on people's food, commenting on what you had in comparison? Can we stop doing that? I feel like it's also coming with kind of the clean girl aesthetic and kind of the girl boss type stuff with all like the detox and the clean eating stuff. It's just not a nice cycle. Like, we had all this in the 90s. Can we recognize that it's just this coming back, and like there's a reason we stopped doing that? Can we please just stop doing that? Because I feel like it's just something we really need to stop doing. How many times can I say, can we stop doing that? It's something we need to stop doing. Stop is like the favorite word of this video. But anyway, just a rant from personal experience. I don't know if anyone else has experienced it or is noticing this happening. I really want to know. French tip nails. Oh, okay. I feel like, again, this is all linking back to the clean girl aesthetic, but it's boring. Oh, it's so boring. Again, color exists, fun nail art exists, like all of this stuff. You could do so much more, but you're still getting like your basic French tip, clean girl nails. Please stop doing this. It's so bad. It's so boring. Stop letting yourself be drowned out by society, please. Even if you start doing your nails by yourself, like get some glitter or like some coloured nails. Like, have fun. Life's about having fun. Life's about joy. Stop going back to these basic things. Oh, it. Can you tell I'm passionate about this? Because this is I'm really getting riled up here. Thankfully though, we are getting to the end of this list at the end of this video. But we're on the last 3 now. We're in the home run. My next point is fast fashion Y2K over vintage. I mean, I feel like that I had this rant a bit earlier when I said like my 90s vintage stuff is like my ins, but there's a specific point I want to mention with this, and again, I think I mentioned like the Bratz revival a bit earlier. A lot of people are trying to pretend like they know what like the Bratz style was, and it's quite clear that they never owned any Bratz dolls as a kid, because it's completely off. Like, it's so Shein coded, it's so fast fashion coded what these people are trying to pretend is like Bratz style versus what they would have actually worn, which is stuff you could probably find in like the vintage shops and like actual vintage Y2K stuff. It's something I'm observing, and as someone, as I say, who was a very, very big fan of Bratz growing up, it's a special type of anger. It's a special type of frustration when I see these people doing this shit, okay? And I just want to point this out. So if you want to like dress in the early 2000s, go to a vintage shop, go on Vinted, go on Depop, go and actually find like genuine pieces of Y2K vintage, because you're gonna find that they're gonna fit better, they're gonna look better. All of this tacky stuff that we're seeing, that's like all the sequins and the glitter and all the frosty stuff that's quite clearly Shein and all like fast fashion places, like actually hurts me to my core. Just stop, right? properly remind ourselves what early 2000s fashion was made like, because you'll find it's a lot better quality as well, same with the 90s stuff, and it's gonna last you a long time. And overconsumption is probably something else I could put on here, which is kind of links in. Go to a vintage shop, go to a thrift shop, find what your personal style is, and buy stuff that's gonna last. The second to last one, people smoking weed in public. Now, I live in a village. I have lived in the same village pretty much my entire life as part of when I was at university. We were a good civil village, okay? Tell me why when I'm going on my walks now I can smell weed. Tell me why. This is a very niche rant. I don't know if anyone else relates to this in like small village culture. It annoys me so much. Whatever you want to do in the comfort of your own home, fair enough, but people walking around in their village don't want to smell your weed. They don't want to smell it. We don't want to know. We don't want to know. I mean, I could do a whole other rant about that, but we don't want to know. It's not a pleasant smell. If you're not expecting it, it is very strong. Again, if you know, you know. Just stop it. Just stop it. Keep it in your own home. Don't be vandalizing perfectly peaceful spaces with marijuana. Please stop. And the last one, because I mentioned at the beginning of this video that the glow up culture and everything can be very serious and very structured, and you know, we have a lot of these phrases that come out which is very like, you need to grind. The phrase locking in has come up recently, and I can say personally I absolutely loathe it. I don't anything that goes along with that, any kind of phrase that's similar, no, absolutely not. We need to get rid of it, okay? If you're glowing up, it needs to be a fun process. For some people it works, okay, for some people, but a lot of us really don't want to have to be like really serious and like, we're gonna grind and we're gonna do this and this, because it's just not in our nature. Especially if you're a woman, it's not in our nature, hun. It's not in our nature. Please calm down. Make life fun. Life is not meant to be serious. And with that, we have come to the end of our list. Now listen, as I said at the beginning of this video, if you agree with anything I said, if you want to add anything from your list, or you want to just start a discussion, please do in the comments. I would love to have you in my community. 2025 is really the year I'm going to try and commit to social media and actually be way more consistent on here, because I have a lot more motivation and I know what I'm doing now. It's a very exciting year, very exciting time. Me and my life, I feel it deep in my core, and I'd love to have you along with for this journey. So if you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more of my videos. Also, make sure to follow me on all my social media, names for which will be, as always, at the end of this video, especially my Instagram, because I talked a lot about that in this video. As I say, there's a lot of inspiration and good stuff going on over there. Always is. It's a very fun time, so go over there, go to my Instagram. Start the discussions in the comments. I really want to hear your thoughts and your ins and outs for 2025. And in the meantime, have a fun whatever you're doing, and I will see you guys in the next one.